Graydon's hand slipped. He tightened the fingers of his other hand, pulling himself close to the wall. His heart beat frantically, and he resisted the temptation to glance down. He stared up at the wall, and a wave of dizziness washed over him. Why hadn't he insisted on a harness before attempting such a mad endeavor? The sight of light glinting near the top of the tower interrupted his thoughts. Behind him, the sun sank down to kiss the horizon, its last fiery rays reflecting off something up there. He stared at it, blinking in disbelief, then decided he wasn't just seeing things. There really was a window. He renewed his efforts, making his way toward the windows, wondering what he might see when he peered through. The window was dark and dirty, too dirty to see through, but it opened easily, and Graydon slipped through and dropped to the floor inside. No dust billowed. In fact, the entire room was far cleaner than he had expected. A small, glittering object on the table caught his eye, and he stepped closer to it. "What are you doing in my tower?" a loud voice demanded. Graydon jerked upright, his thoughts tumbling in shock and sudden fright. He stared at the old man, taking in his shabby clothes, his long white beard, and the hard, angry eyes. Do you live up here?" he asked. "You have not answered my question." The man raised his cane and pointed it threateningly at Graydon's chest. "Now tell me truly. Who are you? How did you get in? And what are you doing here?" "I'm sorry, sir. I didn't know anyone lived up here." Graydon stared around, curiosity piercing his thoughts. How do you get food?" "Answer my question," the man thundered. "Oh, right. My name is Graydon Ormond. I climbed up here. It was sort of a dare, I guess, or a last prank before I leave for the academy. I truly didn't think anyone would mind. I certainly never thought anyone would be inside." The old man strode over to the window and glanced down. He frowned, then turned back to Graydon. "You could see my tower?" Graydon paused, confused. Yes. It's been standing on the border of our village for as long as anyone can remember." "That's not possible," the man muttered. He glanced out the window again. "Are those your friends down there?" "Yes." "And they can see my tower, too?" "Sir, everyone can see the tower. Why wouldn't we be able to?" "Why, indeed," the man muttered. He stood there, silent and brooding. Graydon glanced back at the gleaming orb. It called to him, and he leaned closer, closer. A blue light flashed, and the old man whirled about. "Do not touch that!" he shouted. Graydon jumped and snatched his half-outstretched hand back. The orb shone brightly, with a sudden inner light. The old man strode to the table and snatched up the orb protectively. Blue light poured through his fingers. Then he peered into the gleaming blue surface, and a shock of fear skittered across his face. "What have you done?" he asked in a low voice. I'm not sure I know what you mean, sir," Graydon replied, glancing to the window, gauging how swiftly he could escape. "Look at it!" The man thrust the orb forward. The blue surface swirled with tiny hairline fractures of orange and red. Graydon gazed into it, then glanced up again. "Please, sir, I don't understand." "Those red lines should not be there. What did you do?" "I didn't do anything," Graydon protested, his voice trembling. "I didn't even touch it. Look, I'm sorry for intruding. I'll leave now." "Oh, no, you don't," the man warned softly, no longer intimidating, now simply weary. "It may not be your fault, young Graydon, but you're caught up in it now. I must find out what is happening." He paused, and his eyes darted to the window. Out there. Graydon followed the old man down the steps and emerged from the base of the tower into the purple twilight. On the air wafted the scent of wood smoke. The bonfire had been lit.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.